I've always enjoyed making people laugh, and I can remember even as a small kid being able to make all my relatives laugh, and I'd do impressions, and I'd tell them jokes, and do little skits and stuff like that. And I think one of my purposes in life is to make people laugh, to alleviate them of some of the worries and troubles that people deal with on a day-to-day basis. I was a little bit nervous, and after I initially got over the nervousness, I just love it. It's exciting for me. It's a natural high. I really enjoy it. I like Dave Chappelle. Killing Me Softly was my first exposure to him. I actually saw him at the Improv when it was down on Church Street in Orlando. Saw him perform, left the venue, went downstairs. He happened to be standing on his bus, so I ran up into his bus. He looked horrified because at that time I had a shaved bald head and no facial hair. So he looked at me with wide-eyed amazement and fear. And I just grabbed him and hugged him and said, "Loved your show, man," and took off of his bus. I was always a big fan of George Carlin, Richard Pryor. I'm an older dude, you know what I mean? And those are the cats that I grew up on. Of course, Eddie, guys like that. Bill Cosby, I saw Bill a bunch of times. It's a shame what happened with his life. But I saw him in the early 80s, and he did a 2-hour show and basically told 2 stories and just intertwined things, you know what I mean? He was one of the best. I'm a big fan of The Simpsons, even though it's animated, it's really well written and it's topical, and one of my all-time favorite sitcoms was All in the Family, only because of all the social issues that they brought to the forefront that had never been discussed on television before. Sitcoms, I always loved In Living Color. I remember when it first came out, I was doing volunteer work at a homeless shelter on Sunday nights, so I would sit with all the guys and the ladies, and we would watch it. I was just amazed at the versatility of David Allen Greer and the Wayans brothers and Jim Carrey and the Wayans sisters too. Just amazing how they and the way they interacted was just great. Animal House, of course. Like I said, I'm an older dude. Animal House. Something about Mary. I don't know what it is, but it always makes me laugh. I like the Fockers. Meet the Parents, the Fockers. I like films where people that you don't expect to be funny turn out to be really, really funny. Like De Niro, I didn't think he would be a funny character, and he turned out to be very, very funny. I got 2 friends who are stand-ups, professional stand-ups. One's named Julie Scoggins. She's a very cool lady. And the other one's Ron Feingold. I emceed and hosted for Ron up in Claremont. He was the headliner back in April of this year. It was my first gig as an MC host. And he gave me a shot, and I had a great time. And Julie was there with her 80-year-old mom. And I was talking to both of them backstage, and her mom was a riot. She was super cool, and I realized at that point where Julie got her sense of humor from, because her mom was great. And I got a text the next day from Julie, which was really endearing and really made me feel good. She said, "I loved your show. You're a great writer. Keep it up." So that was awesome. I like to tour with Chappelle, Joe Rogan, Joey Coco Diaz, some of those guys. George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Ralphie May, Jim Carrey, and Greg Giraldo. And I got a quick Ralphie May story for you. My wife and I and a couple of our friends go to the House of we go to the Improv. And of course they seat us right next to the stage. So I had all my biker rings on, and Ralphie comes out, and as he's going through the show, he looks over, he goes, "What's your name?" I go, "My name's George." He goes, "Of course it is." He goes, "Hey buddy, me and you should have a show." And I said, yeah, that sounds great. He goes, yeah, we'll call it Tons of Anarchy. And then he passed away a short time after that. But I always loved Ralphie. Stand-up. Stand-up's good enough for me. Gives me a chance to share with people some of the stuff I think is funny. I'm planning on auditioning for America's Got Talent next year. I'd like to be traveling around at least Florida doing gigs. I'm going to have to get back on that because I don't have a web page and I don't have any of the real social media stuff yet. So if we could add to this another time, I'll get you all that information. I want them to have enjoyed themselves, forgot about all their troubles and worries for 5 or 10 minutes that I'm performing, and when they think about what I performed on stage, that brings a little smile to their face. And hopefully they'll tell one or two of my jokes to some of their friends. Hey everybody, this is Big Biker George. I want you to check out Sarah's website, cuties.com, and I think he's going to have a lot of great stuff for you.